Hey, how's it going, everyone? Thanks for tuning in to The Real for Real. If this is your first time watching us, please do like and subscribe. And if you've already been watching this, you already know what the deal is. We appreciate you tuning in. So today we're going to be talking about best and worst movie genres. So this is part one of our worst genres. These are genres of movies that we really don't care for, that we don't really like in particular. So we're going to talk about them and let you know how we really feel about these genres. So Isaiah, I'm gonna let you go ahead and pop it off, man. Let us know what is your worst genre. What is a genre that you really don't care for? It's just always lacking, never really good. How you feeling, man? Let me know what's up.
All right, so when it comes to me, number one on the list instantly, like it doesn't even matter. Usually it's gonna be any type of anime adaptation and or video game adaptation. Like those two always suck.
First, of course, is Mario, who will be played by Chris Pratt. He's so cool.
See that? Yeah.
That's good, okay. I'm feeling that.
Think about it. Let me just name a couple of them for you and let's see how you feel. Super Mario Brothers.
You may think of evolution as an upward process. Loyal child of the royal family.
Exactly.
Super Mario
Instant
Brothers,
trash.
that's straight trash.
Instant trash.
Go ahead.
Dragon Ball Evolution.
Ooh. I actually commend you for watching that all the way through.
Oh, I never said I watched it.
That
was one of those that you instantly just knew this is trash. Dang. Goku was a white dude.
Yeah,
Goku was clearly clearly not supposed to be he's supposed to be of Asian descent. Period. I can let you slide if you used anybody.
Ghost in the Shell did the same thing. Ghost in the Shell did the same thing.
Ghost in the Shell. It is on that list, and it is one of the better.
That's actually a pretty good movie, though.
It's one of the better, but it still missed some notes. And then Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like Avatar: The Last Airbender did not sit well with the fans of the actual anime.
No.
Street Fighter.
Ooh,
mad trash.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. You went from Bloodsport to Street Fighter. You took an L on that. Actually, everybody took an L.
Yeah. The only person who was doing some real lifting in that was Raul Julia.
DJ. Break it.
Yeah.
That is it.
Bison. Shout him out. Yeah.
And
rest in peace.
Rest in pease to him.
Yes.
But the movie was trash.
Woo.
So you got all those. Let me not even skip over things like Death Note on Netflix.
Another one.
Doesn't
Keith
handle
Stanfield.
business.
Hey, shout out to you. But yeah.
He's an it guy, so I give you some credit. You took the role, but it didn't work out for you. Like that film was trash.
Nah, that movie wasn't good. I'm thinking of Doom.
Oh,
that wasn't good. I'm thinking of Silent Hill. I see you about to mention Speed Racer. Hey, I love Speed Racer, actual animated series, but that's
feel how you want to.
I know. Speed Racer. That's tough. I don't want to diss it, but it
wasn't that great though, bro.
It was visually appealing, but it wasn't good.
Simple as that.
Right, yeah.
So, like when you think about that, when you're looking over all those films, there's a couple of reasons I think that distinctly stick out as to why they're so bad. One, I'd say for sure, they always seem to deviate from the source material. Two, they lack involvement from their original creators, like every time.
I could agree on that.
I don't think that they collaborate enough to make this really worthwhile in most cases. Bad script writing is number three. Like some of the script writing.
When you say script, so I'm thinking of like Max Payne. Kind of fell short of that. I'm thinking of Max Payne. And that's a video game I loved playing. Max
that
Payne.
One fell off from the storyboards, bro.
Completely off from the story.
I think the storyboards even didn't line up for that. Like it just didn't make sense.
I'm thinking of Blood Rain.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Alone in the Dark. I'm thinking of there was even a Need for Speed movie, bro.
Oh yeah, I watched that one in the theater. Movie. I don't know what I was thinking at that age.
What's that movie?
I went to the theaters to go see it. That was mad trash.
Oh man,
mad trash. But like you know what I'm saying, the script writing is bad. I will say specifically to anime movies, especially poor casting choices, and that doesn't mean that the actor who's in the role, the actress in the role, can't act it.
Yeah.
More so, I'm saying, hey, if this person is supposed to be of Asian descent,
he's coming for Scarlet. He's coming for Scarlet.
I'm coming for you, Scarlet. I'm coming for I can't even remember old boy's name who played Goku. But if these people are clearly of Asian descent, why do we have a whitewashing thing happening here. That don't even make no sense.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. Like, at least if you're gonna pick somebody, like, all right, if you're gonna make Goku Chuck Norris, like the coldest, like America's coldest, like white martial artist, that's a different story. But y'all not even doing that. So like,
no,
what?
No, yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. It's just poor casting choices at times. I think that's fair.
I agree.
And then the last thing would just be like incorrect choice of medium. And what I mean by that is like, I don't think live action is necessarily the right way to go for every video game slash.
So you think they should be animated?
I think a good number of them put them in 3D animation.
That makes sense.
I mean, Final Fantasies have managed to have some success putting out 3D animated movies.
Isn't that what they're going to do with the new Super Mario Brothers though?
That's what I've heard.
That's what they plan on doing. That would work. That would work a lot better than the Super Mario Brothers that we got.
Well,
in the past.
Yeah, like you can't have a real life Goomba. That stuff don't work. Like,
yeah.
So that's what I mean. That's my first one. But I mean, I don't know. What you got? What's your first worst genre?
That genre really bothered you, by the way. Subgenre, I would say, but
it does.
That bothers me too. Because I was thinking about it, I was like, I love playing these games, but like the movie was just oof.
I mean, you said subgenre. It don't even matter. It's a collective group of films. There's enough of them out there. I think it's about 50 something. Yeah. 50 plus movies that are based either off of the anime slash game.
And I'm thinking of like Rampage. Like that was bad too. Like they got The Rock for that.
I mean, again, they tried to find some ways to make it appeal to people. But I'm like, why in the world was Rampage picked as of all the games, why do you pick Rampage? Rampage is literally, it had no point.
I was on my Game Boy Color though.
The only point to Rampage, punch out walls, destroy stuff.
Just destroy
There's
stuff.
no other plot purposes.
You could just make up a story though and just.
No.
You can't. It didn't work.
Like that's the problem. There's no story.
It fell flat. Exactly. Whew, man, that's good though. Okay, so my genre. This may actually offend you, by the way, because I know you're a big romance person and you like comedies, but I like comedies as well. But rom-coms to me of recent years is one of the weakest genres, I think. Like it's like like horror is pretty weak for me. Rom-com is actually getting at that point now. But hear me out on this though, as I know you feeling some kind of way about that.
Okay. Let's
so rom-coms. Okay, so you can agree that we are in an MCU, DCEU dominated time right now.
I can.
These are the movies that we're getting now. Yeah. Hollywood is investing in just visual effects, action movies, comic book movies, and that's what we're getting a lot of.
Okay.
So back in like the 90s, don't get me wrong, like Never Been Kissed, She's All That, The Wedding Singer, like all these different rom-coms that we used to watch growing up, like they were good. Yeah. Like they used to be the most profitable genre in the industry at one point. So they're not really spending money on these movies anymore. So a lot of the rom-coms that we got, they're going straight to Netflix, straight to Hulu, straight to Amazon, and it's suffering because of that, I think. So for me, like I'm gonna tell you right now, I think they need to go back into the When Harry Met Sally formula and the Annie Hall. Like I'm not a supporter of Woody Allen like that, but
Kevin
I can agree
saying that we need to go back in time to something again.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I know how you feel. I know how you are.
Y'all know I'm an old soul.
Yeah, that boy love that old school.
Y'all saw Taxi Drivers in my top 10, so y'all know I'm old soul. So yeah, bro, I think we have to go back in time now. Honestly, like I think so. Think about this, Annie Hall. Have you seen the 1977 Annie Hall? Have you watched that movie?
Yes. Keep going.
Woody Allen, and I do not support Woody Allen with his weird stuff. Well, but outside of that, let's talk about it.
I don't think that even need to be said, but just to be clear.
Yeah, just to be clear, just so y'all know. So, Woody Allen, when we think about Annie Hall, it was smart dialogue. It was just a well put together movie. It's shot in a non-linear narrative, and he's basically asking, like he's talking to the audience, and he's like basically asking like what happened with my relationship, what went wrong, right? And so to me, it was just a smart plot, well-written dialogue, and like you don't really get that with rom-coms anymore. When Harry Met Sally, like think about when Harry and Sally are carpooling to NYC and they're having a discussion about can men and women be friends without sex getting in the way.
Yeah,
like that's the kind of stuff that we need to talk about, right? Like that's the kind of stuff that needs to be talked about in movies that people can relate to. And like the stuff that you recommended one to me, I know it was the pandemic, like it was like the beginning of the pandemic. And I think you were just trying to put a smile on your face because this pandemic was rough. We can all agree it was rough.
It's true.
So Isaiah just wanted to put a smile on his face. He recommended a movie. Hey, Kev, I know you're not really feeling rom-coms that much, but hey, watch Wrong Missy. And I was like, oh,
Man,
okay,
hold on.
okay.
Hold on, you
All
trying to run
So
your
then-
whole
So I said,
Bruh.
okay, I'll watch Wrong Missy. And I tell you what, David Spade, I like David Spade. David Spade and Chris Farley, hey, that was a cool duo. I like them two together. Rest in peace, Chris Farley. But
man, trying to throw the
man,
wrong-
you sent that to me. I watched 10 minutes of it. I knew that movie was trash automatically. And then I watched it all the way to the end. I was disappointed. So
Look.
I renamed that movie Wrong Missy to Wrong Movie.
I love you, Steve! Oh, shit! Oh my God! Oh! Oh my God!
Boy, shit.
That movie was bad. But that's what you recommended. So that goes to show me, I was like, wow, rom-coms have really fallen off.
Pause all the you know, shut that all the way down right now. Because if you want this rom-coms, that is fine.
Yeah.
You want this
Well, I'm
rom-coms,
just saying a
that is
recent
fine.
one that you recommended within the
Yeah,
past
yeah,
year.
nah, you was trying to
But I've
sneak a
been-
shot in there. That boy had that sniper shot going. He was
just
like, oh, he
saying.
can't see me.
Yeah, no.
First
all right.
Wrong
All right,
Missy.
good.
I don't know if I would consider that a full rom-com.
That's what the,
I
on
think
paper,
it-
that's what the genre is.
I think
though.
it leans
It's
more
rom-com.
toward comedy than it does.
All right, let's think about everything that Adam Sandler
But-
has done as rom-coms. Everything that he's done as rom-coms has been wrong. It's been wrong.
I ain't been arguing.
bad. Yeah, it's been bad.
I don't know if I
Like-
can argue with that one.
Like, it was so refreshing to see
Well,
him in Uncut Gems. I was like, thank you.
oh,
yes.
hold on. You said everything that he did though?
Yeah, Adam Sandler, come on.
So-
just
so
go
you
with
admit-
it.
so you
Just
admit
go
to-
with it?
So you admitting also that like The Wedding Singer ain't just necessarily all that.
Let's see. I specifically said at the beginning of this video, I said I like the 90s rom-coms.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying. But you also said
so you're saying
everything.
you say I'm contradicting myself.
I'm
with
just.
that.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, everything since The Wedding Singer has been terrible.
Okay, that's fair. I don't argue that. I can't argue that.
So,
no.
so
well,
yeah, no, so yeah,
yeah,
I
his
just like I
rom-coms,
said,
you're right.
and like I said, like even like, and I mentioned When Harry Met Sally. I hate to go back in time
No,
because When Harry
You-
Met Sally is a
that's what you had.
1989 film, but that's
That's
a
your
good
sweet
film,
spot,
man.
though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying like, I think we have to go back to that time when stuff was well written, it was good dialogue, it was fresh. And we might have to get back into that formula because I think the last rom-com I saw that was like, I was like, wow, I'm impressed by this one, was Crazy Rich Asians. That was the one where I was like, whew, okay. Like, I'm feeling that. But then when I go to Netflix and I find a rom-com, it's always bad. When I go to Hulu and find a rom-com, it's always bad. When I go to Amazon, which Amazon, y'all, I don't know what y'all be doing, but but it's always bad. So rom-coms for me, long story short,
that's fair.
that's a weak genre.
That's
for sure.
fair. I'll let you hold that one. Yeah,
I knew you
know.
would feel some kind of way.
I know I
can
got
see-
my little.
I can see the disappointment in his face, me talking about that. But go ahead.
Hey, personally, I do. I can agree that there is a little bit of an oversaturation of them right now.
It's oversaturated like horror movies.
So
pretty much,
at the moment, yeah, like right now,
yeah.
that genre does feel a lot like horror movies.
Yeah, there's a lot of
which,
them.
oddly enough, is probably where I'm gonna slide in next. Like
Horror movies,
because
okay.
horror movies, they got to be my like. I'm not sure if they second or third, but right now I got to put them at second because I'm like, they are. Oh, there's a lot of bad horror movies.
James Wan just did a recent one, actually. I just didn't even turn it on. Y'all can let me know how it is. Malignant, let me know how it is. I haven't watched it. I'm just not. James Wan's disappointed me enough.
See, for me, it's just horror movies in general. Just, I guess, and I'm not coming at the horror premise in itself. I understand that all of us have different things we're afraid of, and I even give credit and props to the things that like the underlying ideas behind like some of these movies. Like, hey, you know, we are afraid of ourselves in a way. So how do we show that through, you know, that part is fine.
So what's the biggest problem with horror movies?
Man, horror movies, they don't know when to quit. Y'all never know when to quit. Why is there 7 or 8 Chucky movies? Please explain to me that. In fact,
And I was good with the first two. The first two was pretty good.
in fact,
Yeah.
y'all literally let Chucky go from a horror film to a darn comedy. Like that thing is a dang near spoof.
Once we got to the Bride of Chucky, I was like, wow.
That's what I'm saying. Bride
You've
of
really gone there. Yeah.
See the Chucky
And then
is a straight
then
comedy.
they started it over again and
Now-
did Child's Play again.
And let
I
me
was
not
like,
let me
what?
not disrespect y'all either, like, because some of the Chucky stuff on the back end did try to go back to its horror roots.
Yeah.
But I'm just like,
It's too late by then.
Like,
though.
what's
It's
the point? Like,
yeah,
why they
yeah.
got so many of these? So for me, that's
There's a
rough
lot of
spot.
Friday the 13th too.
Friday the
Which
13th.
Friday the 13th is that's like torture porn.
Maybe so. Like
That and like the human centipedes.
Oh,
like-
what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Human centipede.
But these are horror
what?
movies. Those are horror movies, though.
I mean, they are.
But, I mean-
are they? Like, what is that? Like,
well, I
that
call
stuff
them
is
like
trash.
torture porn stuff. Like that
I don't
stuff.
know.
That's an old genre. That's his own genre.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I was like. I was like,
that
it
stuff
ain't,
is
no,
like-
that I would probably put like Saw. Saw fits in that.
Saw
genre.
like in the first two Saws worked out pretty good. Even when we got to number 3, I was like, okay, y'all are doing a lot, but I'm all right. I'm still
I don't
here.
know.
Once we got to number 4, 5, 6, I was like, dang. Even Final Destination, like we've talked about this before.
These
Like the first 2, good.
just stretch
Then
this
once we
out
start
too
getting
much.
into 3D and the other stuff, it's
Look,
bad,
look.
man.
The
Horror's
first
always
thing is
been
they
boring.
don't know how to stop, and then I would say the second part, like the second biggest thing that I think really bugs me is like, are we even going for like horror anymore, or is it gore? Like you are right. Like when you talk about certain stuff just being
It's gore, yeah.
torture and gore
Yeah.
and blood, like I'm like,
Yeah.
and then like I don't like
This
some
genre
of
really
the art-
bothers you.
Yeah, like some of the artistry of it just kind of gets lost, I guess, at times. The nuance pieces are gone. And I say this also as a semi fan too. Like there are some things that I really enjoy. Rosemary's Baby it's not on the
Rosemary's
nose.
Baby's up
It's
there.
great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Exorcist, the way they were splicing in
The
those
first
little
one.
cuts
The
of
first
things.
one, yes.
Yeah, like that is a great. The Omen is one of
Misery.
my all-time favorites.
Ooh, Omen, yes.
Misery is great.
Misery's
that
really
was
good.
a
Yeah.
really, really
Misery's
good
good.
one. You know, there are good things out there. The Shining, of course. I got to mention The Shining.
Yeah.
There are good ones out there.
But notice
they're
what you've
just-
done. You've named 80s movies. You've named late 70s and 80s movies. So
What can I
so
say?
I'll at least say this.
just me.
Conjuring 1 and 2.
This true.
Yeah. And 3 is it's okay.
I'm gonna tell you right now. If we talking about anything
modern,
modern that's horror,
yeah.
I can
Conjuring
tell
is the
you
only
for
one.
me, if it ain't coming from A24, I probably ain't sitting through it.
Midsommar's decent. Midsommar's, yeah.
Midsummer was even
Yeah,
more than
Midsummer's,
decent.
yeah.
Like it's not.
That's-
It's a
good
creepy
one.
overall vibe.
That's a good one.
But I mean, but it's got some nuance. It's got some things to it. Like,
But I think it's hard for them to come up with this stuff without being a slasher. So,
I mean,
yeah, horror is pretty weak,
and
man.
not just
Like-
even the '80s. I got to give some credit to the Scream franchise.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned it.
Scream franchise has always been handling this business
glad you
of
mentioned it.
critiquing the
I'm
genre
glad you
while
mentioned it.
also giving us some fun experiences and giving us some scares. A lot of jump scares, but I get you though. Like it works. But yeah,
Jada Pinkett getting killed in the beginning of Scream 2.
in the middle of and that was great too. Like the way he did in the middle of a crowded audience of people who are going to watch people get killed.
And
on
I think
movie.
that's what everybody said. All right, black people getting killed in the beginning of movies. Can't do it anymore.
Like I said, he
technically he
job.
started that conversation. Technically,
well,
I
terrific
was like,
job.
okay.
He just he knew he made a satire of the genre
Yeah.
that also works in the genre. I can't be mad at you.
That was good.
So keep doing it. But
So horror for
still.
you. I
is a
agree
little
with you
worse,
on
though.
horror. I agree with you on horror.
Horror
As you were
doesn't-
talking, man, I started thinking about dance movies. I can't stand that. I don't know why I was thinking about dance movies,
We
but
can take my
that
mic
genre,
off and walk out. Like, don't these
No,
is trash.
that genre for me is really bad. I don't care what you want to call. Step Up 1, 2, Step Up 3D. They got like 6 of those Step Ups now. Did you even know they had like 6 of them? Like
The last one I
thought they
remember-
stopped at 3D.
The
That's what
last one I
thought.
remember had the little skinny guy from the first one. He was popping up just to do like a cameo in Florida somewhere, and I was like,
What?
this ain't necessary.
Last I knew was Channing Tatum.
There
So
was-
you actually followed it, okay?
No.
That's right.
Don't see. There you go. Try to throw
You
that.
followed
no,
it,
see?
okay?
Steady trying to start some mess. You
No.
know, if we throw hands on the video, then you know why. Like he pushing it. He pushing it.
All right, so
He said I
like I'm
followed
thinking
it.
about Step Up. I'm thinking about Honey. Like I'm thinking about like the first Bring It On. Like it was early 2000s. I was like, all right, I was
First Bring It On
fine
was
with the first Bring It On was straight. Gabrielle Union, that's fine. But why do you have like 7 Bring It Ons? What?
People like, I mean, I guess
Like,
people
that's-
just want to see things they involved in. No, people
No,
don't want to see them because they're not even
people don't
selling.
care. I don't even
They're
know
not
how
even
they're
selling.
still.
Like,
They're not even making money. I don't.
y'all ain't even
know
got
how
like
they're
middle school
even-
cheerleaders
yeah.
going, hey, I'm gonna go watch Step
But
Ups.
yes,
you know,
so
or-
dance
or
movies for me,
whatever.
they always have a weak plot. I think they rely on just dancing, entertainment, and unfortunately, it's just never a good story. I don't think. Like I
that's
just
fair.
don't really. I don't. I mean, I think like the last one I can really the one dance movie that really stands out for me is Save the Last Dance.
Yeah.
Like that one had a pretty good story. Does
Well,
it age well?
The focus.
I don't know.
I mean, the focus of that one ain't even necessarily just the dance.
Yeah,
It
right. It's
revolves
just a
around
good
something else.
story. It's about interracial
Yeah.
dating. It's and her coming in the neighborhood. So I think that one's pretty good. But I do laugh at the memes and social media when she is doing her last performance for Juilliard to
Oh,
get accepted
man.
to Juilliard. I'm like, how did she make it? Those
I
moves
mean-
were Julia Stiles. Those moves were weak. Who came up with the choreography for that? Whose idea was that?
Everybody was on.
Who came up with that?
Look,
Like those, bro. Can you imitate any of those? Bro, it's bad.
I
It's
can't
bad.
imitate
It's
none of
bad.
it.
It's bad, man.
But
Fredro Starr, did he even do a good job in that movie? Did he even really do a good job?
I mean, let's be real.
let's
Fredro
just-
Starr has played the same character in every show he's ever been
He
on.
did way better in Moesha though.
He did.
Than this. Or
What's
was
the
he
difference?
exact same?
What's the difference? Please tell me what the difference is
They're just like,
between
we need you to be a thug.
Q.
Just be a thug.
No, they don't even
Be
tell him
Q.
that. Fredro, be Fredro, but we're gonna call you a different name. Cool. Say less. That's all
Yeah,
he going
yeah.
to say less. Fredro Starr is always the same character. And if you
And Sean Patrick Thomas is always the same character too. He's the same character in that and the same one in Barbershop.
yeah,
And the
yeah,
same
no,
one in
if you
everything
said
else.
it, I was about to combat you, and I said,
No, he's the same thing.
He's definitely the
Oh
same
man,
dude,
Sean
bro.
Patrick Thomas. We need to get you a role in something else, man. But yeah, dance movies are just not. So that's dance movies are terrible. What else you
Okay,
got?
so you got dance movies on the list.
Yeah, I
which
got dance movies
rightfully
on mine.
belong. So I got to go to spoof comedies. Spoof comedies. I'm gonna hit y'all
man.
where it hurts.
Disaster movie.
Yes, I'm talking disaster movies. I'm also talking not another teen movie. I'm
Oh, yeah, that's bad, that's bad.
I'm talking Meet the Spartans, 50 Shades of Black.
Meet the
Meet the
Blacks.
Blacks.
Meet the Blacks.
You know, the scary movie series. And I'm not
No,
gonna lie,
one
they
and two.
started,
One and
hey,
two. One and two.
One and two
One
were
and two is
decent when
good,
they
yeah.
started it. I'm not gonna lie, they started out fairly well, but that doesn't take away from the fact that they still watch. Even when I give you my reasons, you're gonna understand why even those still fit. They are the better side of the genre.
Yeah. Well,
Just like I'm gonna get you, sucker, is the better side of the
for sure.
you know.
But those are classics.
But I've got to say that
I'm Gonna Get You
there's a
Sucker's
reason.
classic.
Oh, yo, you mad? Like I love I'm gonna get you,
I'm gonna
sucker.
get you suckers a classic. I'll rock with that.
I really love that one.
I love
Antonio
that.
Vargas come out with
yeah.
the he been in jail all this time and come out that pimp suit with the hat
the
that's
water
like
boots, yeah.
that's got a diameter
Yeah.
of 3 feet. Got the fish tanks
yeah,
in his
fish
shoes.
tanks in it. Ooh.
Or better yet, when they go into the the Black Liberation.
Oh man. Hey, I'm gonna get you suckers a classic.
Yeah.
And Black Dynamite.
Oh,
classic.
Black Dynamite! Black Dynamite, I'd say, is like top tier of
Yeah.
those spoof movies. Well, I'd say better, more so that is a satire than even just spoof.
So that's a funny thing. You're naming all the bad ones. Like we're coming up with the good ones too. We got Undercover
Yeah.
Brother. We got Airplane. We got
Oh, I wouldn't even consider that.
Airplane's good.
No, but I wouldn't consider it necessarily a spoof movie.
It's a spoof. It's a
Well,
spoof
no, I
movie.
guess you're right.
It's a spoof movie.
I guess you're right. No,
It's a
that's
spoof
you're right.
movie.
Airplane does fit.
Yeah, it's a spoof
Airplane is a
movie.
classic. Airplane still falls under these categories though, like of why it's
The Naked Gun
why.
series.
Now, Leslie Nielsen
Leslie
is the
Nielsen, Naked
king.
Gun, yeah.
I straight up, Leslie Nielsen was the king of spoof comedies.
Mm-hmm.
That man, like, and it was slapstick is like esque. It was very.
Wrongfully accused.
It was very much
Legit.
like done in a. The format that he uses works. And
Yeah.
it works all the time. I
Yeah,
don't
it
know
does.
why it does.
You're
but
gonna
it
laugh
works
at some point.
every
Like, it's
time.
funny.
Yes,
Yeah, it's
it
funny.
always works. But I will say this is the reason why I'm saying it. Like there are good ones out there, just like there are good horror movies, just like there are some decent. Okay, I'm lying. There ain't no decent animator. There's not very many decent animators to what you call it. There's like Ghost in the Shell, and that's maybe about it. But and even that one was really boring. But with spoof comedies, check me. They can be way too lazy and juvenile with the humor. Is that not true of even the good ones we talked about?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's facts. Yeah.
They can lack intelligence
That's
of
facts.
structure. They're
But
not
I think
very
that,
deep.
I think that's the point of them, though.
Now, I will say that second part about lacking structure is the point.
Yeah.
But there is there is a way you can do spoofs and have some layers to them, right? Like, and keep some layers in.
Yeah, you
there.
can. Yeah, for sure.
Proof of that?
Which one? What's an example?
Good proof of that in terms of spoof. I would say, and in the layers piece would be.
I'm thinking about Mafia. Mafia.
I don't know about that, but it is. It definitely falls under the juvenile stuff. When an old lady comes in there, like, there's nothing personal, just business, and blows up a whole floor.
Hey, man, hey.
Juvenile.
That's the 90s. That's the 90s.
But like structure, I would say spoof film that works, spoof horror film as well, kind of, sort of. Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the
And
Woods.
it took a couple minutes for me to like.
Yeah.
It took a couple views for me.
I was on the fence about it at first because I thought it was all overhyped.
This is trash.
The second time I saw it, though, it's legit.
And then people were like,
legit. It's all right.
Yeah, people had to tell. Like, I felt so stupid because people were like, "Yo, this is totally like a satire." I was like, "No, it's not. It's just two on the nose, and it's two this, that, and the other."
Yeah.
And I watched it. I was like, "Yeah, maybe that's why it's so on the nose."
Yeah.
Like, I was stupid on that one, but it can lack some intelligence with structure because you can do a good good spoof and still have some more. Stuff happening in there. And I think things like I'm Gonna Get You Sucker work that way.
That worked, yeah.
Black Dynamite is a
works.
great one. Like
that's at my top.
Takes
for sure,
every trope of blaxploitation movies, even to the point like if you talk about like intelligence and structure. In that one, even the background music, like whenever they talk about how lots of time people would write background music for these movies that was just narration, and even at times in there. They got the music that play Dynamite walking to what the heck? Like, so a lot of other films, it can be done, but most of them don't.
Undercover Brother works pretty good too.
You know what I'm saying? Like little things like that.
Does that count as a spoof? I think it is, huh? I think it's supposed to be a spoof of black exploitation too.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that kind of sits with black exploitation and a little bit of spy movies.
Yeah.
So I think it could fit in the realm a little bit.
I'll put it in there. Why not?
But
I like it
for sure.
So,
It still could suffer from some of these. I will say with spoof movies, we don't know when to stop.
Yeah, we don't know when to stop.
Naked Gun is great the first time you watch it.
Yeah.
Naked Gun, the next one is what? Naked Gun 1.5 or something like that.
They got enough of them.
And then they got 33.
Shout out to O.J. Simpson, though. He was doing his thing at the
33 in the third.
O.J. Simpson was getting their work. Hey, O.J. Simpson, yes sir.
But you know what I'm saying? Like that happens. Like too many sequels.
Did you already mention epic movie? You already mentioned.
I was about to say that's in the category with disaster movie.
Yeah. Meet the Spartans.
Meet the Spartans. Like it's all in that kind of disaster movie, epic movie.
Yeah.
There's another one too. Not Another Teen Movie. I think they're all within the same brand. And so that's what I mean when I say too many sequels. They may not be direct sequels, but you take an idea and then you decide, let's keep going. Scary Movie, I'm looking at you. You saw that the Wayans brothers did great with the first two. It gets snatched out from underneath them, and then y'all just decided, well, shoot, let's just
There's
run
like
with
5 of them.
Way
What?
too many.
Why
and
would
they
you
weren't
add
funny.
3 more?
For sure, by the time I got to like 3, I think that was the last one I watched and thought, okay, this is decent.
Yeah.
It's not super funny, but it's decent. And then 4
Because we were
onward,
probably still we were in high school at the time.
that's probably exactly it. And then don't even get me wrong, y'all jump the shark all the time. Spoof movies jump the shark. They do too much. You all of a sudden you may be going super great, and y'all do one thing, and I'm just like, I can't do this no more.
So what do we have on our worst genres list? We got,
of course, anime adaptations.
Adaptations.
Video games is in that too. Video
Video
anime
games
tied together.
And I'm just thinking about Tomb Raider as well. Like when you mentioned video games, Tomb Raider was not good.
Which one you talking
I
about?
don't like any of them. I'm gonna be honest with
The
you.
newer one, I thought I gave it a little more credit.
What is the newer one? Like I stopped at
what's her
Angelina
name?
Jolie. Angelina
No, the Jolies were not. They were different.
Like I didn't know you were still checking for it like that. Though. That's real?
No. They just made a new one with. I can't think of her name.
Was it straight to Netflix or?
Absolutely not. It was a
high budget movie.
It was a high budget movie.
Oh, okay.
I can't think of her name to say. The young lady from.
But I love the games though. The games are good.
The games I love too, and that's why.
Tomb Raider 2 where you're killing a shark. Hey, that's legit.
Well, that's why I'm saying, yo, let's be real. Angelina Jolie did not do those justice because those games are not even close to the way she did things in the movie. Like they definitely had to make it actually more interesting in Hollywood because in those games, any of you who've played them knows you were walking around literally just looking for stuff. 90%, it's a puzzle game 90% of the time.
I'm just glad they didn't do Dino Crisis and make that a movie. Thank goodness. But go ahead. What else we got? Oh, Resident Evil #1 is actually pretty good though.
Oh,
and that's still not like really good, but it's like just top tier video game adaptations. That works. It works. Yeah, that works.
But yeah, that's on the list. Of course, that's my like for me. It's
spoof movies. I feel you on that. Spoof movies. I feel you on that. And then of course, you feel me on the dance movies. None of them are good. Unfortunately, for dance movies, for them to get good, you're gonna have to go back into the old formula of Footloose.
Yeah.
See how I got to go back in the day? First. See how I got to go back in the day, people? Yeah. I'm an old soul, unfortunately, but the fact I got to go back in the day to Footloose to tell you what a good dance movie is, for you to bring it back into 2021, 2022, going further into making. That's how you make good dance movies.
Just start
Shout out to Kevin Bacon. Good job.
Start with a story.
Yeah.
Start with a story.
Start with a story, yes.
And you sprinkle the dance in.
Yeah.
And if you did start with a story before, start with a better story. Okay. And of course,
and horror movies, of course. I mean,
I'm about to say horror, and don't forget, you can say it again. I'm not in my feelings that bad. Rom-coms. He's saying, hey, the game is a little oversaturated. It's definitely oversaturated. I will say that. So he is right. I think you can find a lot of trash out there just as easily.
I'm glad you can admit it, brother. I'm glad you're not in your feelings today.
You can find as many bad ones of those as you can find horror movies because there's just too many.
There's too many. That's it.
And now, I think that's the problem with them. There's too many, and of course, how do you do a rom-com and match up against in a society now that's driven by the action genre?
I don't think you can.
I mean, you're right. You brought up some points that I can deal
with. Straight to Netflix.
However, don't you use no wrong Missy as the argument. No, that
I'm just saying
work.
That's what you recommended to me. So
look, David's the movie was funny. The movie was just goofy. The premise of it was nice too, like the idea that you give somebody else a chance that you wouldn't have given a chance to. That was cool. But let's be fair. Let's be real right here. Be extra fair.
Okay.
How many David Spade movies is just fire? Especially since R.I.P. to Chris Farley.
Tommy Boy. But you said fire. I mean, it was with the time. That was with the era.
Isn't Tommy Boy like right off of the heels? That's still during Chris Farley era, huh?
Yeah.
I said
after that, I don't think he was doing movies.
Oh yes, he did. I remember being in middle school and going to see Joe Dirt.
You like Joe Dirt
as a middle schooler. It suffers from some of the problems that the freaking spoof movies suffer from.
You like Joe Dirt.
I did like Joe Dirt. I don't like Joe Dirt. They made a sequel of Joe Dirt.
They did. Wait, they made a sequel.
Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure that you also ring the bell so that way you get notifications when we post. So, until next time, y'all take it easy. Peace.